Um, yeah, welcome everybody to the Constructivist. Got Juliet right here. We've got Alyssa right here. Today we'll be talking about paying it forward and constructivism. Juliet and I have not watched the movie that we can recall. I wouldn't be surprised if we watched it when we were growing up. Um, and in the book, The Constructivist, bear in mind that it does tell the ending. It is a spoiler alert in the book, so if you haven't seen it and you're going to read the book, I recommend you skip over this little bit. It's only like, anywhere from it's like a page. So be careful of that. um, but on there we go. With paying it forward, there is a quote that our dad says that I'll read. But I am personally practicing this simple strategy today myself every day. In my relationships, business, spirituality, etc., I successfully fail, all caps, every day, 3 exclamation points.
It is delightful. I feel like you need to put that in there.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yes, the next sentence is, and it is delightful. I would definitely not say that he failed every day from an outsider opinion. Don't think there was I don't think it was that consistent. I don't know, like
I think he considered failures on like the micro scale as well. Like, oh, I brought Janice her coffee, but it wasn't hot enough. Failure of the day.
I was gonna say like maybe super small things like that. Just,
Mhm.
something small like that where next time it'll be better. It'll
Yeah.
be better. And I know myself that I have failed a lot in my personal experience with relationships, business, spirituality, etc. And I've learned a lot from it, but the paying it forward segment of that, I think runs a lot deeper than just things that you have failed. When I have kids someday, I want them to see my failures and hopefully learn from them if they can and go from there. Like, I was in a bad relationship. I took the wrong course of path for jobs multiple times. I want them to be like secure in the fact that if they do fail, I'm there for them, which our father was for us. But also, like, I'm always here for you if you fail. If you succeed, like, I'm a ride or die. The last One of the last texts I received from our father was, "Your forever dad," is how he closed it. And it's so true. It was no matter what decision I made, no matter how much of a burden I may or may not have been being at those times, he was there, and like he was there to celebrate life and decisions and people, and communication was just such a skill for him that we've touched base on a couple times. That was unlike any other human I've ever seen. So that is part of paying it forward.
That is a huge part of paying it forward. And when he refers to paying it forward, I know he talks a lot about communication, but he also did it in a lot of other ways too. Like we mentioned random acts of kindness in the last episode. That's a form of paying it forward. And there was another one, pushing up people. So when they're
Yeah.
down, he pushes them up, and then he knows that they'll have his back when he needs a little push himself.
Yeah. And within the segment in The Constructivist, he mentions that in the movie, and this isn't giving anything away, the
Yeah.
goal is to impact 3 people. because then those 3 people can go to another 3 people, and it'll just cycle, and that act will forever go on. And if I were to guess how many people he impacted, I would say thousands. Truthfully, thousands of people. He was a radio talk show host. He was a good friend, a good business partner to a bunch of people, an amazing father, great partner to Janice and others. There's just there's a lot of connections there where 3 people was nothing for this man. He could get 3 people in an hour. You'd have 10
Yeah, and
people
you'd
feeding
have
it.
full-length conversations with them too. You'd have like 20 minutes and you'd think that your whole world has just changed.
Yeah, he'd tell you things about yourself that you didn't think anyone else knew. And I
Mhm.
don't say that in like a psychic way. He just knew humanity. So he'd remind you of things that maybe you've done in the past or ways that you felt, and he's like, that's human nature.
Mhm.
There's a quote,
Especially
I don't
when
yeah, yeah.
Especially when he'd have a conversation with someone that he never met before. I think that was one of his favorite things to do because he would just listen to them talk and then he'd sort of like deconstruct what they were saying and why they were saying it to like a stranger. And then he'd be able to piece it all back together and be like, oh, so you're this kind of person and blah, 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 just pretty much agreeing with them, but giving them like a new perspective on the same things that they already said. And they're like, "Oh, I never even thought about it like that." And you're like, "Oh, well, that's what you just told me." And it really boosted your confidence and
Yeah. He was a
made a
psychiatrist
huge,
without, or I'm sorry, a psychologist without a degree.
pretty much. That was our
Yeah,
dad.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, and he was a radio talk show host for several years, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, so I'd argue he probably impacted like tens of thousands directly
That's
himself.
true. That's true.
Yes. Every chance he got, he would talk to his waitress, the person he was sitting next to on a plane, bus, shuttle, whatever the case might be. He would always try to make a little impact on someone's life, and he definitely got at least 3 a day, no doubt.
Yeah. Something funny that our brother told us was one time he went to a toll with dad, and the guy was like, "Well, have a good day," and dad looks at him super intense, and he's like, "Have a good life." And that was just like the way the cookie crumbled. It was it was an intensity that I have, like intensity about like a passionate intensity that I have not seen since. And I'm like, whoa, that was awesome. I mean, and it was so genuine. Like that was something
Mhm.
that our brother said. He's like, yeah, no, he meant it. He meant it to this
Mhm.
guy that he gave money to at a toll. I hope you have a good life. Like if this is the last time that I see you, I hope everything from here is amazing since. Those aren't his words, but that's what
What
he
he
was
was
conveying.
saying with his intense direct eye contact, I'm sure. Have a good life. Like I
Yeah.
can't when I like imagine it, anyone else, it sounds so like what's the word I'm looking for?
It-
Almost like sarcastic.
oh
Have a
yeah.
good life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, and it wasn't
But
even
him,
like
no.
we're doing it with like a straight face. No, he was definitely smiling, guaranteed, like, I hope you have a good life. Like
Yeah.
a very
Like so
genuine.
desperate. Like I really hope you have a good
Yeah.
life.
Like
Just so
also if you
intense.
need anything, like here's my phone number, call me. We can talk
Mhm.
this out. We can figure out the next steps for you. Like if it's financial, call me. If it's mental, call me. If it's physical, call me. We got you. We got you, honey. Like, and I keep on saying ride or die. Like I mean that. And that was not just with his kids. Obviously with his kids more than the average stranger. He was ride or die
We
with
had
every
more
teenager.
time and a different relationship.
Yeah.
But some of his friends ended up becoming like family and I wouldn't say we didn't get a little preferential treatment, but I
Yeah.
think the more time you had with him, the more he tried to impact your life for the better.
Yeah. Which he also quotes, the alternatives aren't worth the effort. Cheers.
Mhm.
Within this section. And it was just so dad.
Yeah.
Um,
Like avoiding people, avoiding conversations, avoiding making an impact on someone's life because you don't want to step on toes or something. He was always about you can communicate with others and make it less exhausting than if you're just trying to keep to yourself sitting on a plane or like waiting in line, getting all frustrated because I remember he told me this one time he was at Starbucks with Janice, getting Janice some Starbucks. She likes her coffee.
huge.
And it was just this really long line, and they were kind of slow at the customer service was kind of slow. And so he got up to the front and he was like, so how are you doing today? And just like broke this girl. She like started bawling. He told me she was like really struggling. He's like, I can tell this is a lot. And he just like had this full conversation, probably no more than like 3 to 5 minutes while ordering coffee. And it just completely changed her day. And I've seen him do that with so many people, maybe not breaking down crying, but he just had this way of completely changing someone's perspective or changing their day and changing the way that they deal with stress or deal with a situation. And he was like, yeah, just focus on, yourself. They can wait. And he was like
Yeah.
making everyone wait as he was doing it. Like, no shame.
Yeah.
If they
Well, that poor
need
girl, I'm
coffee
sure she
fast,
was
they can go
having a
to a
hard
gas
time.
station. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sure she was having a hard time. And that's the
Yeah.
thing is he was probably waiting in that line totally patiently, like
Mhm.
waiting to get up there and hopefully make her day better because everyone else is there for coffee. She's there for the long haul.
Mhm.
They get to
Yeah, she's
leave the
there all
second.
day.
Yeah.
All day, and you can either get frustrated and impatient, or you can think about it from someone else's perspective. Like, I'm only here for maybe 20 minutes when I was only planning on being here for 2, but this girl is here for 8 hours surrounded by these angry people.
Hmm.
Just compassion. Learn to be compassionate. It's a lot easier than getting upset.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I think it was previously mentioned, but Juliet said in the paying it forward section of this book, he is mostly talking about communication, but we've talked about in the past, like acts of kindness
Mhm.
as well, which is also another part of this. It's just paying for the person behind you in the drive-through or the Starbucks line and making sure that something good is coming out of what you're doing because there's a lot of bad in this world. We all know it. There's a lot of bad. There's a lot of focus on negativity. And when you can kind of get out of the focus of that and actually start to do positive things, like what Juliet and I are doing with um, the shelters with our shared abundance.
Survivors of child abuse and other underprivileged youth.
Yeah. With that and with I was mostly talking about our donations for Christmas with, yeah, yeah, I was
That is
mostly
a
talking about
random
that.
act of kindness. Yes, except that it was thought out in advance. Actually,
It's
no.
still
It
an
sort
act
of
of
just
kindness, y'all.
happened, and then we decided to make it a big thing. But
Yeah. Make it a
trying to
medium-sized
inspire
thing.
others. A medium-sized thing.
Big thing for us.
Mhm.
And helping people where we can. Because we've talked about the North Star effect of not having someone that can guide you through those tough times. And we were talking about this the other day, is I'm so glad that we were able to get to a place where we were before he passed away. Like he saw a lot of different levels of who we were. And I think who we have been in the past year has probably been the best versions of us. So
I
that
think
was,
you're right. And I think he had a lot to do with that. Without a
yeah,
supportive figure like him, I don't think I would have gotten into law school to begin with. I don't think I would have had the confidence to even try to apply, you know?
yeah, yeah, true. I mean, I can't speak for you, but I can definitely say that he pushed me into the psych field heavily, like more than anybody else, because he was just so interested in it and so proud to have.
Yeah, same. Like when I was a
Yeah,
paralegal, before I even thought about becoming an attorney, he was always pushing me up, right? Like, oh, so when are you gonna do the next thing? When's your next raise?
yeah,
You deserve to be paid more. How
yep,
many hours are you putting in? Don't you know that you could make so much more if you went somewhere else? Like, here, let me show you all of these options. Let me show you all the statistics, what you're doing versus what the attorney's doing. Don't
yeah,
you think you should just be an attorney? And I was like, I guess.
maybe. And
He's like,
beyond that, he had a
what harm is there in trying?
yeah, yeah,
Was
yeah,
often
if it's
how
something you're
he.
interested in. But if you're like, Dad, I'm not interested, he would have stopped
Okay,
for sure.
yeah. If I were like, no, I don't want to be an attorney, he would have been like, okay, well, become the best paralegal in the world.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
he's got your
Um,
back.
with that, Juliet got a new position after being a paralegal, and he had, I don't even know how many people were on that call, but he tried to get everybody in this call to congratulate her. I have a voicemail that's like, it's like a pre-call with me before this call. He's like, I just want to talk about like all the things I want to say during this call and like
Amazing.
celebrate Juliet to the fullest. We can discuss further things and blah blah. And I'm just like, hold on, we're having a pre-call to discuss how awesome my sister is before this call to discuss how awesome my sister is. And I think, like, I'm not certain, but I'm pretty sure in my recollection of this, almost every single phone call that I had with Dad was about how great I was too. So it was like, I don't want you to feel like you're not good enough. You know, your sister's going to law school. Like, you're amazing. Here's 75 reasons why I love you. Here's why I'm proud of you. Like,
I don't want anyone to feel like they're being left out.
yes, yes.
Like,
Like,
I love
let's
you
talk
too.
about you. I'm on the phone with you. Let's talk about you.
Hmm.
Bam.
He was really good about that.
Oh my gosh, super good about that. I don't remember anyone else ever coming close to as good as that. Like, I think you and I
Yeah,
together, we're pretty supportive people, and we're like, we're shit shows compared to that.
I know.
We just sent a
Like,
congratulations text.
exactly. Congratulations. Or you start a conversation talking about the other person, and then you're like, yeah, so this is what I'm doing.
Yeah, oh,
It's
totally,
like,
totally.
he would
Corey
never
made
do
me
that. It's
mad
great.
this morning.
No, what happened?
No, I'm saying that's what I said to you the other day. I was like,
Oh.
we'll talk about you, but let's talk about what oh no, give me the tea with my coffee.
Hmm.
Yeah, pretty
I don't know if you can
awesome.
see it. It's green tea. It's
Oh,
delightful.
it's green tea. It looks okay. I was just seeing the shading and I thought it was a coffee stain in the cup.
Oh, no. I definitely
Nice.
have a lot of coffee though.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
have
need
some
that much
chocolate.
caffeine in my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Coffee also does not taste good to me. So
Oh, I like the taste of creamer. Oh my God, Dad used to, every time we'd go to like a restaurant and we'd get coffee, he'd be like, make sure you get some extra cream for this one. She likes a little coffee with her creamer. And I was like, you know
oh,
me so well.
you know me. Yeah, the little things paying attention to for
Mhm.
sure.
He was, oh my God, yeah. He one sauce with every kind of meat. He'd know to get that. What else? Oh, every time I got toast, or if there was like an option of toast or pancakes, he was like, she's gonna want pancakes, but she's gonna want jam on it. It's like, you're so right, Dad.
Thank
Love
you.
that.
Snatched right off your plate. Um, I am currently getting up
Yeah,
all
sure.
my stuff.
The apple. I already ate the apple. It's gone.
I know, she's rude. She's rude, bud.
It's a tiny apple. We have more. Paying it forward. There it is. Yeah, are you joining us today? Thinking about it. He's like, I don't know that I want to be here for this.
But
Bro, we
you
got
know.
so sidetracked. We thought it was bad with Phoenix, but look at us.
Yeah, seriously. I didn't think it was Phoenix. I thought it was all me. I'm usually the problem. Paying it forward. And Juliet, the fat fuck.